Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have Maddy joining me. Hi, Maddy.
Hi.
Hey guys, we got an exciting video. Should you take action or not? Should you have the relationship talk? Should you text them? If you have any questions in your life, in your manifestation about that, we're going to answer them today. But just before we do, guys, we're having a contest when we get to 100,000 subscribers. We're giving away 3 free coaching sessions, 1 to each person, 3 different people. And all you need to do to enter is subscribe, share our videos, as well as comment what you've actually manifested using the law of assumption. Let's share some inspiration. And guys, Maddy's having a sale. It's ending soon. Definitely check out if you need any help, with your particular situation. She can help you find some great intentions. As well as, guys, I have a course, Create the Relationship You Love. It's all about recreating people that you're in a relationship with, any sort of relationship, whether it's an SP or a mother or a coworker, anybody. So let's dive right in. Exciting. So we were talking earlier about having the relationship talk. Let's start with that one, Maddy.
So I've actually had a lot of clients come to me specifically over the last few weeks about if they should have the relationship talk, if they should initiate that, or if they should intend that their SP come to them. And my biggest advice was like asking, do you feel confident in what they're going to say? And sometimes they'd say yes. And I was like, okay, if you feel confident, that's amazing. That's the first step. Do you believe that they're going to tell you exactly what you're intending for? And sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes they'll say, I'm not quite sure yet. That's a good place to be, just because you want to be honest with yourself about where you're at in your manifesting journey. You don't want to just go for something if you don't know wholeheartedly how you're going to react if something doesn't go exactly the way that you think it's going to. But we can also see that as a bridge of incidents. So we'll get into that afterwards as well. So let's say I want to have the relationship talk. I want to know where I stand with this person. But then I have to ask myself, where is this coming from? Why do I want the relationship talk in the first place? Am I coming from a place where I'm questioning what he's thinking about our relationship? Am I questioning what I think about our relationship and what I think about him? Because you can always change those things. You don't necessarily have to go out of your way to have that talk yourself with them. But it's kind of a nice thing when you intend that you do have that talk and he is very clear or she is very clear about where you stand in the relationship, but it's their idea. Then you can also build that belief going up like, oh, I can actually create that. I can create them coming to me and telling me exactly what I want to hear, and I actually don't have to bring it up at all. That's a really powerful thing to intend for. And so if you come from a place of, I don't know where we stand, I just don't know where this relationship is, then you can work on your intentions of, okay, what do I believe in the situation right now? What are my thoughts towards the situation? And it's okay to acknowledge those thoughts and be honest with yourself about exactly where you're at. That's the whole point. And then you can actually go from there and set some intentions like, he actually is very confident in this relationship. I intend that he is consistent and he actually goes out of his way to show me that he is all in with this relationship. He is committed to this. He's committed to me. He knows I'm the one for him. He does not waver, things along those lines. And you could even say if it's a thing about trust, because maybe you've been cheated on in past relationships, or maybe you've been ghosted and you're wanting to have that relationship talk, maybe because you are not confident that this pattern might, play out again, which is totally valid because that's something that you have been through before, maybe multiple times, maybe once, but it's still enough to maybe be a belief where it keeps playing out. And so one of the advices I give to my clients is that you face that belief head on and then you tackle those intentions from that point. And that could be, my person shows me that I can trust them in a relationship. They're actually the reason I trust relationships again, and they show me evidence of that every single day. And I know because of his actions that he is trustworthy. Men or, women are trustworthy. They are people of their word. Every time I go to my person, they are genuine. I never have to question if they are being honest or not. So you can rest in those affirmations and knowing going forward, do I really need this relationship talk if I'm affirming for him to be consistent, for him to be all in this relationship? Because then you wouldn't necessarily need to have that talk or initiate it. But if it makes you feel like you are powerful in your manifesting journey, you can absolutely have that talk. But that's if you actually feel confident in where you know where you're going. And if you don't feel like you're going to get triggered when that talk happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. So one thing is you're dead on, and I've got a perfect example. So back when I was first with Andrew, I wanted to move in with him, and I had the relationship talk with him because I didn't know, like I didn't know. I mean, obviously I was doubting what he was thinking. I knew, right? You know, I know about manifesting, but I was like, oh, what is he thinking? And I want to have the talk with him to find out why he doesn't want to move in with me. So that was coming from very much fear and lack, right? And then sure enough, guess what he reflected back? My blocks. Okay. So I created, any guy that was previously married to basically, have baggage and don't want to, be in another committed relationship. And that's exactly what he reflected back. And I started crying, and we almost broke up. But then I was like, no, you know what? I really want to be with you. And if all you want to do is, do what we're doing now and not take this any further because you're not ready, I'm totally okay with that. And it was hard, but I did that. And then for the next 5 days, I intended. And then sure enough, we ended up moving in together, like basically 2 weeks later. Now, fast forward today, we live together. We can talk now. I can have the relationship talk with him, because what it turns out to be now is us telling each other how much we love and appreciate each other, because that's what I've intended. Okay. So I can walk upstairs right now and be like, I want to talk about how much I love this relationship and how you're supportive and how much you love me. And, and when I, even if I was to say, well, where are we going as far as marriage goes? I'm totally comfortable doing that because I know he wants to marry me. I know he's planning to marry me. So it's very much exactly what Maddy said. It's where you're coming from. Like, what is the motivation behind it? Right. And, so I have the relationship talk all the time right now because it makes me feel good, because we talk about how much we love each other. Right?
Absolutely. And so that's a really great place to be, is where that it's going to be a really great talk. It's just going to further your relationship. And that's something that people can intend for as well, is that this is just going to make our relationship stronger every time we do have this talk. And he or she realizes that more and more that this is the person that I definitely want to spend the rest of my life with. I'm very sure about this person. They support me. They motivate me. Every time we have these talks, they show me how deeply in love they are with me. And that makes me feel so comfortable and so, like, trusting of this relationship. I never have to worry. But in those beginning stages, when we do question and when things aren't necessarily solid in our minds, we can take what they may say at first as feedback. Okay, how do I tweak that? I don't necessarily like what they're saying. And some of the things they may say are wonderful, and you can just go from there, but I'd still work with, okay, that's wonderful. I'm going to keep intending for exactly that and just go forward with my person. But let's say it doesn't go as planned. We weren't totally confident going into the relationship talk, and we just felt like we wanted to go for it anyways. We were going to have that talk no matter what. So let's just say they say, I'm just not ready for a relationship yet. I don't know if that's what I'm looking for. Or in your case, like, I don't know if I necessarily want to move in right now. I'm comfortable with where I'm at with you. So what we can do with that is say, okay, that's just feedback. That may have been a belief of mine. I could have created baggage, like what you had said, and I could have created that people don't necessarily commit to me. People don't necessarily, view me as wife material or husband material, or they don't view me as somebody that's high value. They view me as the side chick, whatever it is that, the belief holds for that, for you to be afraid of having that initial relationship talk. So those are some good points going forward with where am I coming from? And that's same with texting, the whole texting thing. Do I want to wait around for this person to text me, or do I want to know that they're going to initiate contact with me every single day, stay in my confidence, know that this person is extremely, extremely dedicated to always communicating with me? There is no day, no hour that they do not go without talking to me. And I know for a fact I don't ever have to worry about that ever. So that's just something that's kind of fun, is you can play around with it and create some fun intentions around communication. And something I also like to tell my clients too is how would you live your life, and what would your actions be if you knew for a fact, like someone showed you your future? They showed you that you and your SP were doing exactly the things that you were intending for. How would you live your life right now? Would you wait on the phone? Would you wonder if he wanted to be with you? Would you wonder if that person was fully committed to you? Would you be waiting for them to like potentially come to your door? No, you would live your life to the fullest. You go out with your friends if they asked. You would intend for so many other things as well. You would live your best life, basically. And so that's something that's also really amazing to do, and being like building that confidence in yourself that will also build confidence in other areas of your life as well.
Right. Same thing with the texting. You know, I remember when I first started dating Andrew, I was worried that I was annoying him. I was worried. And sure enough, he reflected that back. He's like, you text me too much. It's annoying. I'm trying to get work done. And I'm like, ugh. And then I changed that story. I was like, no, he always hears from me. He calls me for no reason constantly. He loves to hear from me. And he, you know, and I was always texting him first every morning to say, hey, good morning. How are you? You coming for dinner tonight on your way home from work type of thing. And then, and I always wanted him to initiate. But what I did was every day I just sent the text saying he wants to be with me. He loves to hear from me, and he's going to start initiating. And then I was working at a different part-time job. Like I was working as a community outreach worker because I don't know, I love doing that. I thought it was a great job. Long other story. But I was like, one day I totally got busy, forgot to text him. And then all of a sudden he started texting me every morning. Hey, how you doing? I'm coming. And because I came from nothing's wrong. There's nothing wrong. He wants to hear from me. What would I do if I was living in the end of being in the relationship? Like Maddy's 100% right. Like live from the end. What would your actions be if you already had what you wanted? What would your thoughts be if you already had what you wanted? So I think the whole point, I know what the whole point is that we're saying is it's your thoughts behind your action. Is it coming from love or is it coming from fear? And if it's coming from fear, you're going to get more of that back. If it's coming from love and coming from your end result, then you stay true in that reality in your thoughts and you act from that reality, right? So let's put it this way, okay? So let's say you're, okay, I'm living from the end. He wants to talk to me or she wants to talk to me, and you text and you don't hear anything back. You still got to live in the end at that moment, okay? If you had a great relationship and this person wanted to be with you, you've got to tell yourself a reason why they haven't texted you yet and then reaffirm they're going to text you. So me, myself, like being in the relationship I'm in, I'm like, oh, Andrew's just busy working or he's probably driving. He can't text me back. Okay, done. I'm like, he'll text me back as soon as he can, right? But if I was coming from fear, right, like being rejected way back when, I would be like, oh, does he not want to talk to me? Am I annoying him? Is that why he hasn't texted me back? Two totally different schools of thought there, right? So, you know, living from the end never ends, okay? You send the message to them. They don't text you back. When did you decide they weren't going to text you back? Because you're the one that created that. Right.
Exactly. When you send that text message, it doesn't matter because time's relative, but you want to be totally confident, like they're going to text me back no matter what. They've been staring at their phone all day waiting for me to text them. They've been the one wondering why I haven't texted them sooner. They've been waiting all this time to hear from me. They've missed me so much. Like basically what you have been worried about yourself, what I like to do is make it that they actually were the ones doing it. They've been the one wondering. So you're still putting yourself on a pedestal. You're the one making yourself important, but then you're also like making it so that you have the choice. It's not them. They don't have that option in your reality. You have the choice if you say so. So therefore, you know what? They haven't texted me yet because they're actually driving up to my house right now because they've seriously contemplating over the last hour when, you know, I've been wondering why they haven't texted me. They've actually been wondering why I haven't texted them. They're driving up to my house right now, and that person's actually going to beg to be with me because they can't even handle it anymore about the whole wondering where we stand or wondering why I haven't committed to them yet. They're actually crazy about why I haven't done all that yet. So when you kind of make it like that story, it makes it a little bit fun, more a little bit more light. And then you can actually have a little bit of fun with your manifesting journey. And those things actually do come true as well. It's not just, you know, the story that you say once and then it never happens. I've actually said those things and those specific people actually played it out in my 3D. And then I found it way more enjoyable because I was like, oh, I can actually create this. I'm awesome. I don't actually have to initiate anything. People are going to move mountains to give me what I want. Everybody, in reality, the minute I say what I desire, they're working hard to give me what I desire. And I can rest in knowing that, and I can rest that I don't have to chase after it. They're just going to deliver it to me. However, that.
And I'm good enough to have it. I deserve to have it, and it's happening, and it's happening now.
Exactly.
So important. Yeah. So amazing. I think we covered it all, did we?
Sure.
Oh, Maddy, you're absolutely amazing, guys. If you need any assistance on whether you should take action or not, then Maddy can definitely help you with that. And guys, thank you so much for being here, Maddy.
Thank you.
And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I know that this video helped out a huge amount of you guys to be able to know, when to take your action and when not to take your action. But either way, even if you take your action when you're coming from a place of fear, you're still going to learn something. You're going to get some valuable feedback. It's going to help to speed up stuff for you. So yeah, guys, you know what? Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.